Hi, today is a very special day for us, for the Rufus family. This is the day we celebrate. We also remember with uh, gratitude and thanks to God for enabling us to see the last 7 years of His provision and sustaining our faith. Today, I have the privilege of having both my brothers here, Sam from India and David from Burbank. And they're here uh, as part of the family, and they're going to be talking about. Michael is going to ask a few questions and prompt them to talk about their memories. And as I mentioned, this is not to bring any glory and honor to ourselves. This is for people who would be watching, and we would like them to see, feel, hear, and then respond to what God is doing through this. This, through our testimony, we want Him to be glorified, and we want my wife Shirley to be remembered, and what a role model she was. So over to you, Mike.
Well, I'm privileged and honored to be here with the Rufus men, the Rufus elders. I call them my uncles. And so you guys both knew Mom extremely well. And I'll ask you again, what are some of your fondest memories of Mom? And I'll start with you, Uncle Gigi.
Well, I'm glad that we talked about celebration. It's a celebration of life. And I have so many memories all the way back in India and even coming here. Some of my fondest memories of Shirley, it's always been about her hospitality, how she served, how she cared. Uh, she was my driving instructor. She was very patient. I thought after riding a motorcycle back home, coming here in I believe it was a Camry, and she would teach me those side curves when you're turning, making a right turn or a left turn, how to come into the lane. And when I eventually got my license, she was so thrilled. And then she became the instructor for the rest of the family. Olivia was trained under her. So I bring that up because there were certain twists and turns that we had to make while we were driving. That translates into the twists and turns in life. And for me, Shirley is always been someone who cared a lot, not only for her own family, but the extended family. We had a lot of fun times, long journeys from here all the way to Montana, and the time that we spent there. And all of that, she would make sure that she took care of every little detail. You know, taking out a tissue from a little bag to other little things that she did.
Yeah.
I cannot think of Shirley in the past tense. I believe she is still alive. May not be present with us here this morning or these many years, but it's a translation of life. When you finish with this earth, then life goes on in the next. And I believe that she is still alive in the presence of God, experiencing what God has promised to anyone who believes in Him, lives in Him, and now continues to live on.
I love that, Uncle. And, Mom saw you as a secondary brother, and she entrusted you with Dad to support him when she went on. And so I just want to honor you and say thank you for staying true to that brotherly code that Mom so bestowed upon you. So, Uncle Sam, I know Mom was very fond of you as well. Every time you would come in from India, the house was clean, the room was prepped, and all your favorite things were ready to go. So, if you don't mind sharing some special memories.
Well, I want to thank the family for putting this up. Uh, this is not just another take, but a wonderful time to recall.
Yeah.
And we have to thank God for this thing called memory, you know, and that's what fascinates me. And here we used words like celebration, and I would like to extend the meaning of that word to festival, because what we want to celebrate here is the festival of life that Shirley embodied. And I don't think we'll ever exhaust the aspect of Shirley's hospitality and generosity. I remember that my flights, whenever I came into LA, would be in the evening. And so when I turned up to the house, she knew that I was very fond of hot steaming rice. Now, I mean, should someone make that bacon special? So, yeah, that's the way she was. And she'd sort of almost demonstrated by, as soon as I put my bags down, she'd open the pressure cooker or the rice cooker and just try to see that there was smoke coming up from the rice. So that's a matter of detail that I'm happy to reproduce here and to talk about. It's those little things that meant a lot for her, and she was very, very organized. Anything she did or put her hands to would be big, would be different, would be unique. Whether it's a time of Christmas celebration or whether it was a time of just getting some food together, she was absolutely different. And what was remarkable about her is that she wanted to add that little extra to the ordinary. And therefore, then I got the meaning of extraordinary. So, in essence, she was an extraordinary person and extremely loving. And I'd even share this, that she was extremely generous. And I remember that you all had your first house in Burbank. And it was Shirley who insisted that this house, when we were moving into this present location, that it would be given to my brother David and his family. And and she sort of facilitated that transfer. And this is not normal. This is not ordinary. This is absolutely extraordinary. And she'll really go back in terms of our memory. And again, to be not just spiritual about it, but we who are believers and who have put our life, our eternal life, into the Lord's hands, which I believe that Shirley too was a great example of a believer, is I think she walked into this room before we did. And that's the aspect of a living presence.
Right.
Yeah. And so I mean, as the eldest in our family, I was absolutely fortunate to have enter not just as a sister-in-law, but as a sister. We were three brothers and one sister. So she added to the number of sisters. So I can keep on and till the cows came home. But that's a great love, and I'm sure she's listening to all these things.
Absolutely. And thank you both for treating her like a little sister.